we got to take a look at this new matchup that we have against the LA Rams, everybody. A team we have not seen yet this season.
That's kind of scary.
It presents some advantages and disadvantages,
sure.
I would say. The advantage being that they haven't seen us, and I think the Bears are a lot different this year than they have been in some past seasons here.
Of course.
And the Bears did beat the Rams last year under that horrible regime somehow when things were going well, and it was not a good day at the office for Matt Stafford, if I remember correctly, for him and the Rams. But it was kind of a lone hiccup last year because the Rams had a pretty good year, I believe. They lost to the Eagles in the playoffs. Here they are probably looking to redeem themselves, very much in a similar situation, having to play a road game in round 2. What does the game have in store for us this week, Nika? Well, I have the updated playoff brackets here, by the way, after last night.
Nice.
So we, of course, will have LA coming to Chicago, and San Francisco will be headed to Seattle. That's right. 3 NFC West teams are alive and well, with the Bears being the lone non-NFC West team alive. So that means the NFC East and the NFC South are DOA in the second round of the playoffs. That's wild to me.
Changing of the guard.
Yeah, there is a lot of changing of the guard in the playoffs this year. We, of course, have one more game to go tonight, and that is the Steelers and the Texans. So we will wait and see who has to go to New England, but we do know Buffalo will head to Denver. So I'm excited to see who comes out of the AFC, but really all of my attention right now is on the NFC and on the Bears and their path to the Super Bowl, because I just didn't think that this was going to be possible. I was even skeptical about them beating Green Bay this weekend.
It happened. So we got the Rams now coming up.
We do. And I wanted to quickly not go too far off track here, but Colin Cowherd tweeted this yesterday. The NFL playoffs have been just fine without the Chiefs. And I have to say, I agree. It's been really nice to see some new blood in here. Yeah. We had some drama. We had some really, really close games, minus the Sunday night game. It's been a fun weekend to kick it off. So I'm here for it, folks. Yes, here are those matchups, the posters from the NFL. The division round is set for the NFC. Bears-Rams. Crazy. And we do know that game is going to be on Sunday, everybody. And people were caught off guard by this, Nika, because San Francisco played yesterday. The Rams and Bears both played Saturday and won. And now the Bears and Rams game is going to be Sunday. So they both get an extra day, while the San Francisco is going to be shortchanged a day going into their Saturday matchup now in Seattle. What do you think about that?
It's because the bye week that affects the teams that didn't play, and they had to put these teams first. So the Broncos and the Seahawks will come in before the games that happened.
Definitely. I understand the point you're making. You're saying they've had such a long layoff already that they got to get back to playing football before they look too rusty.
I know it's one day. Whether that makes a difference or not, time will tell. But I think that was the main reasoning for it.
I don't know if it makes as big of a difference in football, just because I think it's such a demanding physical sport that any time off you can get is an advantage.
Sure.
And we'll see how the Seahawks look this week.
Yeah, they might be a little rusty.
This is a rematch of a game that just happened, everybody.
Exactly. And that might benefit the 49ers, actually.
It might.
Shorter rest.
It might. The 49ers also lost George Kittle yesterday in an injury, and he is out with an Achilles tear, so yuck. All right, well, the Rams are heading to Chicago, and guess what, Nika? They are 4.5-point favorites over the Bears. The Bears continue to be underdogs, as they have been for, I think, a lot of the season, and especially when they've played like the Steelers and the Packers and the Niners.
It's a fitting moniker for the Bears this season.
It is. But I like them as the underdogs in this game. The odds have already changed. They opened at 4.5, but they've already narrowed to 3.5. As of this morning, as of this recording, 3.5-point spread favoring the Rams. So it's already moving. And one of the reasons why it might be moving is because of an early look at the weather for Sunday. Now, fair warning, Chicago weather is highly ever accurate when predicted this far in advance. But an early look at the weather in Chicago on Sunday for the Rams at Bears divisional round playoff game says a high of 16 degrees, a low of 2 degrees, and a wind chill that will make it feel colder and closer to -8.
The Rams should come in a few days earlier to get acclimated. if they want to have a chance.
And they won't.
I know.
Most likely. Not that I know of. They may try to make arrangements. Who knows? I mean, it's not impossible or unheard of probably, but what do you make of this early matchup preview here?
I think the weather will favor the Bears because they are more familiar with this kind of a situation.
Without looking at it too closely, the Rams played in Atlanta recently. They also played at Carolina recently twice, and those are both indoor teams, the Falcons and the Panthers. I'm struggling to know when the last time they played an outdoor cold weather game even this year is. I would not get my hopes up too much on like betting against teams and weather or anything like that. At the end of the day, like they've all done this before, especially Matt Stafford. He's played in Detroit for gosh sakes. I'm sure he played cold weather games in the NFC North, and even though Detroit's home is inside, the Packers and the Bears is not. So he's had to have had experience in this, and they will all rely on that.
Yeah. So, it's not going to be a big factor. It will be a factor because it will be cold.
It will be a factor. I think it's more important to see how the other Rams players perform in this kind of weather, especially if they have trouble with their footing. I think that's where the Bears might have an edge. It's like, oh, we've played on this grass. We know what cleats to wear when the weather's like this, and like they might not. And you don't have to share that information.
You don't. And also the wind factor might play a factor.
If they're not used to playing in the wind or anything like that.
Because you got to throw the ball, too. But you have to throw the ball different way when it's windy.
Maybe. They keep saying that, and they keep saying the wind will be a factor, and then I see quarterbacks throwing the ball all over the field. Jordan Love, Caleb Williams,
they are familiar with this kind of a weather.
Maybe. So, it might be that simple. It might just not be as hard as they make it out to be.
Yeah, that's true.
They might just throw the ball hard, folks.
That's true. You know Caleb's got an arm.
So. We know he's got an arm.
You know what's the most critical in this game will be? Experienced quarterback versus inexperienced quarterback.
Yeah, it's interesting. And it's also a coaching matchup of offensive minds.
Yes.
With Sean McVay versus Ben Johnson. And Nika, of course, wants to see if his hair will move on the sidelines this weekend in that wind.
Yes, I do. Because his hair don't move.
All right, well, I don't know what's going to happen on Sunday. It's too early to tell, and I haven't done my usual pregame research yet, but wanted to give a little sneak peek at what Vegas was thinking right out of the gates here and what the weather is potentially going to look like and how that might affect this game, because it's outside in Chicago, and that's the home field that Ben Johnson played for. It just feels like the 80s is happening right now. Like
very fitting.
The Bears, 40 years ago to the day of this recording, won the NFC Championship against the LA Rams in Chicago. Rookie Eric Dickerson for the Rams couldn't do it. Bears win 28-0 in another cold ass game, and it just makes you wonder, is history going to repeat itself some more?
Potentially.
I don't see the Bears having a necessarily bad pathway to get to the Super Bowl, but I would say that they need to somehow find a way to start playing 60 minutes of football at a higher level.
Not the last 15?
Or 5.
Or 5.
Because I do agree with my brother to a degree that as sooner or later it will all catch up and haunt you. Yeah. We even saw this against the Niners and against the Lions in the last week of the season. But that's neither here nor there anymore because it's the playoffs and the Lions aren't here and the Niners have to get through Seattle. But what a rematch that would be in Soldier Field between probably one of the best Sunday night games of all season, if not one of the best NFL games of all season, was the Bears-Niners Week 17 game. I even remember when that game went off, people were calling like, this would be a great NFC Championship rematch, everybody. So I'm here for it, but first of all, I want to get through the Rams and not look ahead to anything. And I know Ben Johnson's going to do that too. So
one game at a time.
All right. Well, this was our sneak peek look at the Bears hosting the Rams in the NFC Divisional round coming up on Sunday, everybody.